Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now, stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. Y'all know the drill. We've been keeping it pretty much short and sweet around here lately, and I'm not going to do anything different when it comes to that today. I wanted to mention a little book to you guys that I bought in 2012. Long ago when I figured, Lord, I wanted to get prepared to be married. I was looking for all types of things, of course the Bible, but I was looking for different things, talking to mentors, just trying to figure out what I needed to do as a woman to be prepared to be the kind of wife that I desire to be. And most importantly, just really seeking God on what I needed to do in order to be the right mate for my spouse. So, the book that I bought was The Power of a Praying Wife. And I always mess up this lady's name, y'all. I'm sorry, but it's Stormy Amartian. It's Omartin. I could be saying that wrong, so forgive me. But her first name is Stormy, Stormie. And the book has sold millions of copies, and it's a wonderful, wonderful book. And again, this year in 2018, I'm probably going to be on the fifth time reading it because I bought it in 2012, and I knew up until maybe a couple years ago, I read it like 4 times. And this one in particular, I think that there's a book to The Power of a Praying Husband as well. I'm not sure. So if a man is listening, you can cop the other version. I'm more than sure. I really do think that there's a Power of a Praying Husband book as well. But I just wanted to check in and just tell you guys that for those of you who are single and you are praying for a mate and you are seeking God on this thing, I just want to tell you something. Your situation is not going to be like anybody else's situation. Okay? People can give you advice. They can tell you this, they can tell you that. But remember, it is always about capacity. It is always about what you have the capacity to do in that relationship. And the only person, the only being, the only thing that can tell you how to do that will be God. There are a lot of people who are still single erroneously because they've listened to other people talk them out of the relationship that God had for them, because in their high hopes for you, they say that's not what you need. But unfortunately, what people don't understand sometimes is that sometimes the only person that's going to know what you need is you. And God is going to confirm that to you. So I want to encourage you, those of you who are still preparing for a mate, those of you who are still preparing for marriage, my guys on here who's listening, you guys are preparing for a wife and you really want to be the best husband that you can be. This is the time now more than ever to seek God, because what the enemy will do, he will make you block people that's supposed to be there. He will make you stay with people that's not supposed to be there. He will have you entertaining people to throw you off and confuse you and get you as far away from the promise as possible, because this is what he does. The enemy comes to do separation. He's about confusion. He's about chaos. He's not about peace and understanding. No, he's not about any of those things. The enemy wants to make people flip-flop and be all over the place. That is not God. For those of you who are seeking that wife, you have to start putting that stuff together, putting your house in order. Everybody's not a millionaire. Everybody's not super rich. But you have to start doing things consistently to show God that you're willing to step up in this area of your life. And it's the same thing for women. If you want to be a wife and you want to have a family and a home, be a homemaker, you should be practicing now. Learn how to make new meals and dishes. YouTube is your friend. It's all over the internet now. You can go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can do hashtag recipes. There's so many things that you can do to begin to, take better care of yourself. Like really, really, make sure you go to the doctor, get your health checked out. Figure out what your hair regimen is. Figure out what your fitness regimen is. Figure out what you like to do. Figure out what's important to you with nobody else involved. What gives you peace of mind? How do you act when things anger you? Are you used to people being in your space? These are things that you are learning about yourself while you're single. These are things that you don't have the luxury to learn when you are constantly surrounded by somebody. I could even say for myself, I'm historically used to having me time. So it doesn't matter if I've ever talked to or dated somebody, I always carve out me time for myself. And that's important to know about myself, because when I do get in a relationship that God has for me, they're going to understand that. Shoot, they might be a person that's like, yo, I need my me time too. And we could totally be on one accord with that. Where he takes his time away, I take my time away, and we Gucci. But that's just one small example. So y'all, take this time to understand yourself. And if you're still letting people in who don't value you, who don't understand you, who don't appreciate you, who do not get you, then that's another sign that you may not be ready for a person yet, because you have to make sure you love yourself enough to know what's good and what's not good for you. If you're still entertaining people who treat you like you're damaged goods, you're taking the scraps from them, that's not anything that God wants for you. And you want to make sure before the right person comes along, you're doing the work on yourself so that you can do what it is that you need to do to be ready when that time comes, because God will give you that desire. If he's already put it in your heart, he talks about how it's not good for man to be alone. He talks about, if you're feeling the lust in your flesh, he's going to put you with somebody. But y'all, he's not just going to put you with somebody to make babies and have sex. I was just looking at something the other day, and the girl was talking about that, and that's a confirmation. It's not just about those things. There are things that are deeper. You have to build legacy. You have to put things back into the earth. If he calls you guys to be parents, there's just certain things that you have to do. You know what I mean? So I want you guys, I'm going to read this little excerpt from the back of the book. And I'm just going to list the things that she highlights in this book. And again, I do think there's the power of a praying husband. So I'm sure these things probably apply. Maybe one or two things don't. But think about this if you want a husband or a wife. And these are some things you should be praying for. Their spiritual walk, their emotions, their roles as a mother, father, leader, and decision maker, security in work and finances, health and physical protection, faith and future. These are just some of the things that, go back and rewind this. Write these things down and begin to target these areas in your prayer. Today was just simply a quick little podcast to let you guys know if you are praying for a husband, you are praying for a wife, that God will do it for you. But make sure that you are doing everything you can while you're single to enjoy yourself. Don't be so busy trying to not be single that you're wasting the time that God has given you to cultivate yourself so you can be a dope husband and you can be a dope wife when it comes time to be married. Okay? So take some time to do that. If you have any questions, make sure you hit me up, podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember, you can find the book online. Again, Power of a Praying Wife. I think there's Power of a Praying Husband. Check it out. If you want to, give me an update, you have any more questions on some of the things I talked about, then let me know. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.